Hi everyone, welcome to Vinyasa Flow. My name is Michelle Chua. Have a couple of yoga blocks and a strap handy, and let's begin seated. Just take a moment here to ground yourself. Check in with your body, check in with your mind. In the ancient Upanishads, one of the texts that yoga philosophy derives from, thousands of years ago, it says, train your senses to be obedient. Regulate your activities to lead you to the goal. Hold the reins of your mind as you hold the reins of restive horses. I found an article in Yoga for Your Mind by Olga Cable, and she talks more about this in layman's terms, this traditional view of the senses, the mind, the intellect, and the inner self. In this material world, the human body, which is analogous to the chariot, is pulled around by the five senses, which is the horses, reacting to what we see, hear, taste, smell, and touch, all that we take in through the senses. The mind is the reins, is impulsive by nature and is easily distracted by the likes, dislikes, and emotional responses to sensory objects. It gets pulled in conflicting directions unless the charioteer, which is the higher intellect, in yoga philosophy it's called buddhi, takes the reins and takes charge. The passenger is the self with a capital S, that is the inner self, that light of the inner teacher, that even deeper, Atman, soul, the center of consciousness, which is always the neutral witness. So no matter how our senses are push and pulled, we talked about this in the kleshas before, the root causes of suffering, we can come back to the seat of witness like we do in yoga, like we do when we're watching our minds and sitting in focused meditation. We could do the same thing in our everyday interaction with the world. Get caught up in a conversation, starts to feel reactive inside. We can take that moment to pull the reins of the mind and bring it back to the neutral witness, so that we come from a conscious freedom of choice in how we respond. And further, the Upanishads talked about regulating your activities to lead you to the goal. Some of you have intentions and visions of what you'd like to manifest this new year. So how do we regulate our minds, our senses, so that our bodies follow suit? How do we remind ourselves that we are the charioteer, that we are behind all that we're reacting to, or all those reactions themselves? So in this physical practice today, as I mentioned last class, that this whole month of January, we're going to place some breadcrumbs along the path to explore, to your degree, your capacity, venturing into headstand. Maybe you already practice it, so this might be a way to review the foundations, but Sirsasana, headstand. So let's start seated, closing your eyes maybe, perhaps bringing your palms to meet at your heart. Take a few long exhales through the mouth. Sense the energy of your mind. Is it feeling push and pulled by your senses? As you take deeper mindful breaths, come back to the seat of witness. Taking the reins of your mind as you steady your focus on one thing that you want to set as your intention for this practice. Maybe it's related to a greater goal or something that you're manifesting in this new year. Also, perhaps call to mind someone or something that you care about to also dedicate this practice to. And let's send the energy of these intentions and dedications out there as we feel them resonate within us. Chanting 3 ohms together. Take a deep breath in. So to stoke our inner fire, for inner alignments, we're going to begin with breath of fire, Kapalabhati Pranayama for 1 minute. So you might want to start placing your hands on your belly and slowly breathing in to expand the belly and slowly breathing out through the nose to hollow the belly. Inhale, expand the belly, just breathing through the nose. Exhale, draw the navel towards your spine. Now begin to pay more attention to the action of the exhale, drawing the navel towards the spine, and we'll begin to pulse that in. So the exhale sounds like you're quickly blowing your nose, sort of like this. Accentuating the exhalation. Now there's a Kriya in Kundalini Yoga called Ego Eradicator Kriya. It's kind of a strong name. You raise the arms straight up like a V. The thumbs are sticking up. The other fingers are curled in. Shoulders are relaxed. You're sitting tall. And then the inner gaze, as you close your eyes, are directed to your brow center, Ajna Chakra, taking breath of fire like this. Going to set the timer. Do what you can for 1 minute. Here we go. Find a steady rhythm that's brisk, that you can maintain. Pulsing the belly in. Steadying your inner gaze at your brow center. We're down to 25 more seconds. Three, two, one. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath at the top. Close your eyes, bring your thumb tips to touch overhead. Lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel in and up. And as you exhale through the mouth, release your arms and relax to natural breathing. Observe the effects of this pranayama. Start to deepen your breath equally through the nose, in and out. Softly narrowing the back of your throat, engage your mind in a steady whispering sound, practicing victorious breathing, Ujjayi Pranayama. Try to keep that sound going, and let's come on down to our backs. You may want to grab your strap as we lie down, bending your right knee towards your chest. And bringing your hands to the back of your right thigh, left leg is straight on the floor. So right at the middle of your right hamstring, place your hands to interlace or use a strap if that allows your shoulders to drop into the floor and away from your neck more easily. So keep your head down and then begin to activate your legs by flexing your feet. Curl your toes back towards your knees. Press your right thigh into your hands or into the strap. As you do the opposite with the hands, you pull the thigh towards you, or you pull the strap towards you, keeping your right knee stacked right above your right hip. Now notice if your right hip is lifting closer to your right shoulder, shortening the right side of your torso. If so, Send your right outer hip forward towards the front of your mat to even the lengths of the left and right sides of your torso. Inhale, straighten the right leg towards the ceiling. Keep flexing your feet. And breathe here. About 5 breaths. So without actually moving your legs, feel these counter forces at work as the belly is active. You're drawing your navel towards your spine and you're lifting it slightly towards your heart. Feel your inner heels press forward so that your legs are not turning out, and feel your outer hips hug them towards your midline. Leveling your hips, you can feel the even length of both sides of your torso. One more breath here, and then exhale, release. Bend your left knee into your chest. Place your hands at the back of your left thigh, middle of your hamstring. Then you can decide if you want to use your hands or if you want to use a strap. Just make sure your shoulders are on the floor and they're away from your neck. Now, kick your left leg forward as you flex both of your feet while pulling your left thigh towards you so that your left knee remains stacked above your left hip. Notice if your left hip is hiking up towards your left armpit, shortening the left side of your torso. If so, actively draw your left outer hip forward towards the front edge of your mat so both left and right sides of your torso are evenly long. Now keep the counteractions of left thigh kicking forward and hands pulling the thigh in as you inhale, straighten the left leg towards the ceiling. Flexing both feet, spread your toes. Curl your toes back towards your knees. Keep the breath going smoothly through the nose. Ujjayi pranayama. Engage your lower abdomen, draw the belly towards your back, and slightly lift the lower belly towards your heart. 2 more deep breaths. Feel as though you're scissoring the legs towards each other without actually moving their location. So it's an energetic hugging your midline. You're going to play with all these actions later on. Bend your 2 knees into your chest, rock side to side, slow breathing, and then start to make your way forward, placing your hands on the ground, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in downward dog. Just shift around in any way you might need to warm up. You might pedal your feet in place. You might swivel your hips left and right. You might softly move your head to help loosen your neck. But keep the breath steady. Let it remind you that you are the neutral witness to all that's going on with your body and even your mind, your thoughts. You're that centered knowing behind the noise. Now let's begin to still the body in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Spread your fingers flat. Wrap your triceps towards the mat. Draw the belly in and firm your outer hips towards your midline, as if you have a block between your thighs and you're squeezing it while your feet remain hips width apart. Now keep that action of firming in, and as you breathe in, raise your right leg behind you, with the toes and knee pointing the ground. Hug your hips towards your midline. Turn the right outer hip downward and tack the left outer hip back. Find that even length in both sides of your torso. Relax the back of your neck. Breathe. Keep your right foot flexed so your whole right leg feels solid, feels active. And as you engage your belly, inhale, glide forward into a 3-legged plank pose. 2 hands on the floor, left foot on the floor, right leg stays lifted. 3 breaths here. Lift the navel in. Draw the crown of your head and sternum forward. Look on the ground ahead. And wrap your triceps towards the back wall. Turn the right hip down and hug your outer hips towards your midline. Keep the hips leveled in height. Take another breath in. Exhale, lower the right foot, downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. And slow exhale through the nose. As your 2 feet are on the ground, feel the height of your left hip balanced with the height of your right hip. Keep them balanced and inhale, raise your left leg slowly behind you. Notice if and when that left leg starts to rotate open, turn it down. Tack the right hip back. Find the equal length in both sides of your torso. Relax your neck and breathe. From three-legged downward dog, inhale, glide forward to three-legged plank, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. Lift the lower belly, spread the shoulder blades across your back, and lengthen the back of your neck. One more breath here. Turn the left hip to face the ground. Exhale, lower your left foot, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Inhale, look past your fingertips. Empty your breath, then walk or float your feet to the front of your mat. Forward fold, press your legs to the ground. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward. Exhale, fold down. Firm through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms apart. Rise all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. Watch your hands meet in prayer. And as you exhale your hands to your heart, pause and realign your mind, your body, and your breath to your intention for this practice. Taking the reins of your mind, let your body follow suit. In through the nose, out through the nose, slow and steady through Surya Namaskar C. Arms down by your sides. Inhale your arms forward. Drop the shoulders back, lift your heart, and look up. Bend your knees if needed. Exhale, bow from your hips. Place your hands alongside your feet on blocks or the floor. Inhale, step the left knee to the ground. Look up, kneeling lunge. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin. Draw the shoulders back and hug the elbows to your ribs. Inhale, slide forward to the ground and roll the shoulders back to cobra. Exhale, press through the hands and lift your hips, downward dog. Inhale, step the left foot beside left thumb. Lower the right knee and look up. Exhale, step the right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand, dropping the shoulders back. Exhale, your palms to meet at your heart. Second side, inhale, arms forward. Roll the shoulders down as you lift the chest. Exhale, bow into a forward fold. Inhale, step the right foot back and look up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhale, slide to the ground in cobra pose. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, step the right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee, look up. Exhale, step the left foot forward and bow. Inhale the arms forward, rise to stand in a gentle back bend. Exhale your palms to meet at your heart, one more each side. Listen to your breath, let it be a movement meditation as you steady your mental focus. Inhale your arms forward and up, gaze up. Exhale, bow from your hips. Inhale, step left knee back, look up. Hold your breath, step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Firm the belly in. Inhale, slide through to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, step left foot beside left thumb. Lower your right knee, look up. Exhale, step right foot forward and bow. Inhale, arms forward, gentle standing back bend. Exhale, hands to the heart. Last one, inhale, arms forward, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right knee back, look up. Hold your breath, step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Draw the shoulders back, look forward. Inhale, slide to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot beside right thumb. Lower your left knee, look up. Exhale, step left foot forward and bow. Inhale the arms forward, standing back bend. Exhale to your heart center. Take a deep breath, notice what you notice. You are the observer of your body and mind. From here, let's bring the feet together, bend your knees together. Slow Surya Namaskar B. Bend your knees and sit back into your heels. 3 breaths in chair pose. Utkatasana. So return to that action of hugging your midline with your outer hips. Hug your front ribs towards the back of your body and draw your tailbone down behind you. Maybe sit a little lower, 1 more breath. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen forward. Step to plank or float to Chaturanga Dandasana. Take your Vinyasa here, Cobra or Upward Dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna vary it. Hugging your outer hips towards your midline. Keep them at the same height as you inhale to raise your right leg behind you. Flex the foot. Let your right leg feel solidly straight. Pause and breathe here. Can you imagine you're crisscrossing the legs without moving them? So there's a energetic scissoring the legs towards the midline. Keep flexing the right foot. Press back through the heel. Take a deep breath and press forward through the hands. And as you exhale, come forward to plank pose with the right leg lifted. Pause there. Inhale. Press the ground away with the hands. Exhale, bend your right knee towards your chin, maybe towards your nose, and round your back. Lift the belly in. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward beside your right thumb. Separate your feet hips width and spin the back heel down. Bring your arms back by your sides. Palms face down. Scissor the right hip back. Press the left outer heel down, straightening the left leg. Let the left outer hip come forward. Now pull in the belly and let it hover 2 inches off of your right thigh as you look past the front edge of your mat. Open across your chest and feel the space at your throat. Breathe. Feel your inner strength here. Feel your center active. Optional to raise the arms overhead and wrap the triceps down, aligned with your ears as the shoulders move down your back. 2 more breaths. This pose is called Degasana. Start to lift your frontal hip bones. Drop your tailbone and let your spine come upright in Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Breathe here. Set your gaze on one spot. Optional to bring the palms to touch, as long as your shoulders can relax downward. As you focus your eyes forward or up towards your thumbs, let's take 3 more breaths. Listen to the quality of your breathing and observe what goes on in your mind as you're here. Bring your hands to your hips and straighten your front leg. Step the left foot forward, maybe about another 5 or 6 inches to a shorter stance for pyramid pose. With your hands on your hips, direct both frontal hip bones to evenly face forward. Firm the front muscles of your thighs like you're lifting the kneecaps, but don't lock the knees. And then draw in the lower belly. Let's bring the hands behind you, either pressing fist to fist, holding opposite elbows, or palm to palm in reverse prayer. Using this to open the chest, breathe in and look up. Exhale, start to bow towards the inside of your right shin. Pause as you breathe in. Round through both feet. Level your 2 hips. holding as you breathe out to your capacity. Ardhvanasana, pyramid pose. So this physical sequence is designed to strengthen the physical layers that will build the foundation of moving towards Sirsasana. Open hamstrings, strong center, hugging the midline. One more breath. Lower your left hand to the left side of your front foot on a block of the floor and raise your spine parallel to the ground. Place your right hand on your right outer hip, tack it back slightly if it's shifted forward, rebalancing your hips. Breathe in and stretch the crown of your head forward. Press the shoulder blades down and back. As your hips stay still, exhale, turn your chest to face the right wall and raise your right arm into revolved triangle pose. Optional to place the left hand on the right side of your front foot, making it a little more challenging as you add more depth to the twist. Take 3 more breaths. And Parita Trikonasana. Look down at your right foot. Place your 2 hands there, framing it. Step the left foot back, bend the front knee again, return to warrior one, rising up. Notice if this feels any different. Bending the front knee, square your hips to the front, back leg is straight, heel is down. Bend your elbows apart like a cactus. Cross your right elbow over the left. Hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms, pressing the shoulders down, lift from the bottom of your spine to your crown. Steady your eyes ahead, hear your breath. Eagle pose. As you shift your weight onto your right foot entirely, turn out your left leg, flexing the foot, wrap the left leg over the right and bend both knees as you sit like chair pose. Optional to tuck the left toes behind the right calf and scissor the left hip back, realigning your 2 hips to face forward. Sitting a little lower, you might feel more grounded. Eagle pose. Often a symbol of focus. Symbol of being able to see the bigger picture like a bird's eye perspective. More breaths. Feel the protraction of your shoulder blades here as they spread wide across your back ribs. Optional to keep your arms in eagle pose as we enter warrior 3. Otherwise, you might bring your hands down to blocks or hands together at your heart. Flex your left foot and press the heel back, extending your spine parallel to the floor. Turn the left hip down and tack the right outer hip back, stretching through the midline of your body. Breathe. Set your eyes on one focal point to help you focus. Entering warrior 2, softly step your left foot to the rear of your mat and cartwheel your arms apart, aligning right heel to arch of left foot. Warrior 2, breathe in. Exhale your hands to the floor for a vinyasa, cat-cow, or to go straight to downward dog. Let's take a few breaths in downward dog. That was quite a journey of poses. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Recenter on your intention. Deep, even breaths. Feel the height of your left and right hips in balance. And try to maintain that balance by firming your outer hips towards your midline as if you're hugging a block between your thighs. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you and flex the foot, curl the toes towards the knee. Press back to the heel and let that left leg feel strong and solidly straight. Tack the right hip back and find equal length in both sides of your torso, from armpits to hips. Relax your neck. Inhale, glide forward into a three-legged plank pose. Stack the shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, bend your left knee towards your chin or your nose and press the ground away with your hands to round your back. Stay here, breathe in, keep lifting the belly. Exhale, step the foot lightly beside your left thumb, separating your feet hips width apart. Spin your right heel down. Bend the front knee, straighten the back leg, and scissor your left hip back. Bring the right hip forward. Keep leaning forward as you raise your arms back by your sides, palms face down, preparing for Degasana. Look just ahead of your left foot on the ground as you lift your belly to hover 2 inches off the thigh. Pull in the belly. Extend your heart forward, shoulders down the back. Degasana. Optional to raise your arms overhead and wrap the triceps down as you align them with your ears. 2 more breaths. Lifting your frontal hip bones. Drop your tailbone and lift your crown. Rise up to warrior one. Right away, set your eyes on one point to focus on. Directing yourself to the stimuli you want to take in, you choose to take in. As you regulate your own breathing, notice how that's a tool for taking the reins of your mind. Two more breaths. Virabhadrasana 1. Place your hands on your hips, straighten your left leg, and step the right foot forward 5 or 6 more inches closer to the left. But keep your feet hips width apart. With legs straight, prepare for pyramid pose. Square the hips forward, engage your quadriceps. Bring your arms behind you to open your chest, fist to fist. Hold the other elbow on top, or reverse prayer. Lift your heart, inhale, look up. Engage the belly, exhale, begin to bow forward from your hips. Pause as you breathe in to reground your legs and activate them while stretching your spine forward. Use the exhales to explore folding forward some more. Parsvottanasana. Let's take one more breath here. Place your right hand on the right side of your front foot on a block or the floor. Use your left hand to press your left outer hip back slightly if it's shifted forward. Re-level your hips. Energize your legs and inhale, stretch your spine down the midline of your mat. Keep the hips still. Exhale, twist to your left and raise your left arm up. Breath by breath, finding your range in revolved triangle pose. Optional to place the right hand on the left side of your front ankle. Parita Trikonasana. One more breath. Look down at your left foot and frame it with your 2 hands. Step the right foot back to re-enter warrior one, bending the front knee, rise up to stand. From warrior one, hips facing forward, bend your elbows apart like a cactus. Cross your left elbow over the right, hook your thumbs, or wrap your forearms in palms. Softening the shoulders down, lift from the bottom of your spine to your crown. Steady your drishti, your gaze, and steady your breath and body. Shift forward, flex the right foot and turn out the right leg to wrap over the left, bending both knees as you sit low in eagle pose. Optional to tuck the right toes behind your left calf, scissoring the right hip back. Garudasana. 4 more breaths here. Visualize entering Warrior 3, whether you choose to keep your arms in eagle or lower your hands on blocks or elsewhere. Extend the right leg back, keep the hips evenly facing forward. As you flex the right foot, feel the right leg solidly straight. Stretch the crown of your head forward. Feel the center line of your body horizontal and lengthening. Virabhadrasana 3. Slowly step your right foot to the rear of your mat. Warrior 2, cartwheel the arms apart, align heel to arch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale your hands to the floor. Notice what you need to feel balance right now, flow or no flow. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, observe your body and your mind. Please bring your knees to the ground. Set up your 2 blocks on their medium or tallest height across your mat in front of you. Sit back on your shins for a moment. We're going to take that stretch to open up our lats or triceps, so extend your arms forward, palms face down. Rotate your outer upper arms further towards the ground to broaden or protract your shoulder blades apart, and depress them, which means move them down the back. Feel the space in your neck right here, the space at your throat. You want to feel all of that when we play with dolphin and headstand. So from here, place your elbows exactly your shoulders distance apart on the blocks. Walk your knees back a couple inches behind your hips. Keep wrapping the triceps down and depressing the shoulder blades as you press your fingertips of the opposite hands into each other. Trace your thumbs down the back of your head, down the back of your neck, maybe further down as you lower your head. Let your chest sink as you press the shoulder blades down your back. Lift the belly and engage it slightly to support your lower back. Send your sitting bones back and lengthen the sides of your torso. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here. Engage the belly, slowly rise up to hands and knees, all fours. Put the blocks aside. Come back to sitting on your shins. Extend the arms forward, wrap the triceps down. Same thing, the shoulder blades down. Interlace your fingers and let your pinky fingers make a snail. As you plant your elbows exactly shoulders width apart on the floor, create a triangular base. The vertices are your pinky fingers and your 2 elbow tips. From here, sink your chest slightly and press the shoulder blades down your back. Feel all the space around your neck. Maintain that space. Tuck your toes, press down through your forearms and breathe in. As you exhale, activate your belly and lift your hips like downward dog. Press your chest back towards your shins and walk your feet forward if they can, closer to your elbows. Maybe the feet touch. We're here for about 5 or more breaths. Hug your outer hips towards your midline, and optional to begin flexing the right foot and raising the right leg behind you like we did in 3-legged dog. Turning the right outer hip down, feel your lifted leg solidly straight. We're going to do the other leg on the round 2 of 3. if you're doing this. Press back through the heel, flex the toes down. Feel the belly lift. As the elbows press the ground away, you're maintaining the space in your neck. Set your right foot down when you're ready and come down to your knees. Wrap your arms down by your legs and turn one ear to the ground. Let's take 3 deep breaths to rest in Balasana, child's pose. Round 2, roll on up to sit on your shins, extend your arms forward, wrap your triceps down and depress your shoulder blades as you protract them. Interlace your fingers, snail with the pinkies, elbow tips, shoulders width apart, triangular base on the ground. Root down to your forearms, breathe in, tuck your toes and exhale, scoop the belly and lift the hips. Walk the feet forward if that's available, maybe bring the feet together. Press your chest back towards your shins and press the ground away with your forearms to lift the shoulders as you free up space in your neck. Steady breaths, steady your eyes on one spot. And now if you did on the first side, lift the opposite leg as you flex the foot, keep the lifted legs solidly straight. Turn the left hip down, tack the right hip back so that both sides of your torso are even in length from your armpits to your hips. Feel the belly engage. Breathe. Imagine scissoring your legs towards your midline. When you're ready, set the left foot down, come down to your knees. Release your arms by your sides and turn the opposite ear to the ground to rest for 3 breaths in child's pose. Last round, optional add-on towards Sirsasana. Sit on your shins, wrap your triceps down, protract the shoulder blades and depress them. Interlace your fingers, switch the other pinky finger on top, make a snail, and plant your elbows exactly shoulders width on the floor. Now this time, you could take dolphin pose similarly as we did on the first 2 tries, or place the very top of your head on the ground so that the back of your skull is lightly supported by the inner webbing of your palms. Make sure it's the very top of your head on the floor so that all the sides of your neck are spacious. From here, press down to your forearms. Feel the strength of your upper arms as you lift the shoulders away from your neck. Tuck your toes, breathe in, exhale, engage the belly, lift the hips. Now you can take dolphin pose with your head on the floor like this. This is a great preparation for a Sirsasana headstand. Keep pressing down with your forearms, lifting the shoulders. Chest is wide open, belly is firm. Optional to raise one leg like we did earlier and flex the foot, square the hips. Turning the hip down. Feel the lifted leg solidly straight as you're hugging your midline. Then you might lift the opposite foot. Starting to feel your pelvic bowl tilting upside down. Starting to stack it above your shoulders as you would in Sirsasana headstand. Some of you might lift both legs. When you're finished, we'll meet in child's pose. And when you arrive in child's pose, let's take 3 slow exhales through the mouth. Inhales through the nose. Placing your hands alongside your knees, roll your spine upright. Let's interlace the fingers behind your lower back. Imagine you have a tennis ball that you're squeezing between your elbows. As you wrap your wrists over to the right side of your hips. Wrist to the right side as I'm marrying you. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and breathe. Feel your left collarbone broadening away from the sternum at the middle of your chest towards the shoulder head. Maybe look down towards your right collarbone. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath. Lift your head, release your arms, and shimmy out your shoulders. Let's switch the interlacing of your thumbs and index fingers behind you. Squeeze an imaginary tennis ball between your elbows and wrap your wrists over to the left side of your hips. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Draw in the belly and lift it up. Breathe. Maybe look down towards your left collarbone. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. And then gently release your arms, release your head. Take it out. Deep breath. Exhale through the mouth. Let's come on down to our backs. Step your feet on the mat and let's take one round of bridge pose. Optional to hug a block by the skinny width between your thighs. Bring your arms down by your sides and set up your feet where you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite that close. Parallel your feet apart, hips distance. Ground your feet and shoulders when you're ready. Inhale, lift your pelvis. Activate your hamstrings. Stretch the fronts of your thighs forward. Rotate your inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Walk your upper arms closer together, maybe interlace the fingers. Make sure to keep the arms straight. Tilt the chin slightly back. Last 3 to 5 breaths here in Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. When you're ready, slowly lower your spine to the ground. Turn out your right thigh at the hip. Flex your right foot and cross the right ankle over your left thigh like a figure 4. Either press your right hand onto the top of your inner right thigh, splaying the thigh open, or thread your right hand between your thighs and hold your left leg with 2 hands, gently bringing it closer. Or cradle the sole of your right foot and your right knee between the crooks of your elbows like a baby, while straightening your left leg to the floor in supine single pigeon pose. Let's take a few deep breaths there. One more deep breath. Then please step your 2 feet on the ground, both knees bent. Turn out your left thigh at the hip, flex your left foot, and cross your left ankle over your right thigh like a figure 4 shape. Try to set up the same way as you did on the first side. Either press the left hand into the top inner left thigh, thread the left hand between the thighs, and hold the right leg with both hands, bringing it in. Or cradle the sole of your left foot and your left knee between the crooks of your elbows like you're holding a baby, while straightening your right leg forward on the ground. Take a few deep breaths. Keep flexing your left foot to stabilize your left knee. One more deep breath here. And please come into happy baby pose. Bend your knees apart, catch hold of your outer feet, and ground your tailbone and shoulders. Optional to straddle your legs apart, maybe clasping your big toes. Draw your bent knees together and please rock up to sit. Let's prepare to practice box breathing, Samavriti Pranayama together. So find a way to sit so that your body can feel stable, balanced, open, and relaxed. A physical gesture or a mudra for focusing is to bring the thumb and first fingers to touch. Grounding energy, palms face down. Uplifting energy, palms face up. If available for you, I invite you to close your eyes in this practice. Steady your inner gaze between the eyebrows and up towards the center of your forehead, at the area of your pineal gland and Ajna chakra, your center of inner knowing. Box breathing is inhaling for a count of 4, holding it in a count of 4, exhaling a count of 4, and holding it out a count of 4. Let's try a couple rounds together, then 3 rounds on your own. Relax the shoulders, sit tall. Empty this breath. We're just breathing through the nose. Hold the breath out. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue 3 more cycles of box breathing. When you finish, no rush, relax into natural breathing and observe your mind and your body. Slowly and mindfully begin to make your way down to the ground to lie down and rest for 5 minutes of Shavasana. As you keep your eyes closed and your body still and your breath natural, observe your mind. Observe your body. In the state of observation, keep tuning in. Begin to move your fingers, slowly moving your hands, maybe turning your head. Begin to move your toes, gently moving your feet, maybe stretching arms and legs. In your own way, gradually lift your body upright, and please find a comfortable seat. To sit for 5 minutes, continuing a focused practice of witnessing our mind interact with external stimuli, with the senses, with thoughts. Sitting tall, grounded, open, and relaxed. I'll begin the timer now for 5 minutes. You may want to bring thumb, first finger to touch, and perhaps close your eyes and steady your inward gaze at your brow center. If you start to get carried away by what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, take the reins of your mind and come back to your seat as the charioteer. Notice what you notice. If your attention goes astray into a story into the past or a story into the future, drop the storyline and return to your seat as the neutral witness. As you sense your breath, remember who you are. You're not the thought. Bring your awareness to your physical body. Sense the sounds around you. Easing your way out of this meditation practice. Gently bring your palms together at your heart center and bow in towards the wisdom of the light within. Like we salute each other with namaste, I bow to the divine within you, within each of us. Let's close the practice, chanting one Om. Take a deep breath in. The light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste.